Hello everyone, welcome back to this lecture series on C programming. This is the last part of our mini series in programming environment setup, and in this I'm going to cover how to set up your virtual machine on cloud so that you can work on your PC. So this video is recording my full screen. So if you are watching in the small YouTube player, it will not be visible clearly. So I want you to watch it in full screen in 720p. So let us begin. For setting up our Ubuntu box on cloud, I prefer using Amazon AWS. You can use any cloud provider you want, like DigitalOcean. So I'm going to demonstrate here how can you use AWS because it will provide us with a free box. So go to Amazon AWS console. This is the link. Sign into the console. If you do not have an account, sign up and thereafter just log in. Okay, so after logging in, you will see something like this. We want an EC2 instance. Okay, and make sure to choose your region AP South 1 because that is Mumbai, India. Now you go to instances. This is the instance which I have already created. Okay, I have been using it. But if you want to create new instance, okay, then you go to launch instances, and here you will see in quick start you'll see some boxes. Okay, make sure to choose a box which is available for free tier. Okay, now we need an Ubuntu. So let me see, do we need a server or do we have another options available? This is Ubuntu server 16. This is not for free tier. Okay, so don't go for it. Ubuntu 20.4. Okay, let's go for this one. You select 64-bit and go to select. Okay, now make sure you choose this instance only because if you will choose something else, it will be charged after some time. Okay, that time might be total runtime, total RAM usage, total storage used, or total internet used. So you go for free tier, configure the types. Only one instance we need, so we'll keep it one. Not much of the things will be changed. Add storage, by default we are getting 8 GB of disk space. SDA1. So we'll go to review and launch. Ignore it for now because you don't need to edit any of this. Okay, we need a secure shell to connect on port 22. Good to go. Go to instance details. Storage, we already know it gave us 8 gigs of storage. Okay, there are no keys and all. Cool. So you go to, after launching, it will ask us for key pair. Key pair is basically your authentication key to log into this machine. So you can always create a new key pair, but I already have my key pair downloaded on my machine, so I'm not going to re-download it. You acknowledge and you launch the instance. It's that simple. Okay, your instance is being launching. Done. Go to view instances, and here this one is my Ubuntu box. Okay, the instance is running, so I cannot change the name. Anyways, this is secondary. Let us now look at how to connect with it. Okay, so you get this IP address. Okay, this is your public IP version 4 address. You copy this address. Okay, if you open, there will be nothing because HTTPS means it is going to port 80. We only activated port 22. That is for secure shell. Now we have the public IP. Now you open your PowerShell, and in PowerShell type SSH-I. Okay, dash I means you are providing the identification file. Okay, here is the name with which you are going to log in. Instead of Kali, I'll keep the name Ubuntu, and at the rate of your IP address. So that's it. That's all we need. Okay, this file is like, I added this file. This is simply going to ping it after every 50 seconds. Otherwise, sometimes secure shell connections die. So just enter, say yes, and there we are. Okay, we are into our Ubuntu box on AWS. We can see all the details. Let me just keep my screen to this. So now we are in our machine. Let me show you what did we get. So we are getting an x86-64 CPU, means it can support 32-bit as well as 64 bits. Alright, and we are just concerned about the CPU speeds. That's pretty decent. And to see how much of RAM do we have, okay, we have 1 GB of RAM. Okay, so now we are in our Ubuntu box, which is a fresh installation. We have not done anything. So the first thing that we are going to do is sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Yes to everything. Alright, so now the updation is done. Now we are going to see if we have GCC or not. Command not found, but it can be installed with sudo apt install GCC. For all our codes, I'll create a directory. See, right now I have no directory here, so I'll just create a directory. Okay, and I will move myself to that directory. Okay, now first thing is updation done. Second thing, I have created a folder to keep things organized on my cloud. Next, I am going to install the compiler, accepting all the terms. Alright, now we have downloaded GCC. Let us once update Vim also. The command is same, sudo apt install Vim. Alright, Vim is already set to manual install and I think it is upgraded. See, 0 upgraded means this was already in the updated version. Nothing newly installed because it was already on the system and upgraded, so no need to upgrade it. Nothing to be removed and nothing upgraded. Alright, so now we have our text editor, we have our compiler, so we can start writing code. So let me just start with vim test.c and pressing I will start the insert mode, and I'll write escape colon w. This means I'm writing the code. Q, write is already done with w. Q means save, enter. Okay, now you see test.c is the file here. Okay, you can simply do ls, that's it. If you don't want to see all the details, you can just do ls. Now we are going to compile it, gcc test.c. There was nothing shown on the display, that means it got compiled successfully. There is a reason to it. Why? Because Unix was developed in 1960s. At that time digital displays were not so advanced, so all the outputs used to come on punch machines, on papers. So we needed an output only when there was some error. If everything was working as expected, they were not required to show anything. So it follows the same philosophy. It will not show us anything if nothing goes wrong. So now you see, now we have file a.out, so we can execute it, and here it is, the code running perfectly. Also I want to mention one thing, that whenever you are done with your work on the machine, it is my humble advice to shut down the machine. Otherwise you might exceed the total runtime on cloud, or you may exceed the total CPU usage. That might migrate you to a chargeable tire. I don't want you to get charged 25,000 or 1 lakh from Amazon. So whenever you are done with your work, do sudo power off. That's it. You can do this manually also if you go to the website and do. I'll just show you. Let me bring it to size. Now it is stopping because I gave the power of command. Now I can stop directly from here also. I can go to instance states like this one, and I have selected it, right? This is now selected. I can go to instance states and start the instance. It will run. Now this instance is stopped, so we can rename it Ubuntu server 20.04. Save. Okay, that's it for this video. This was the last video of the series. We have done Windows installation, we have done Linux installation, and now we have done installation of our compiler and editor on cloud. From next video, we are going to get into C programming. I'll be doing all the editing in terminal itself. That's it. Peace.